Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Chicago Bears.
Appreciate you, Coach. One of the great venues to watch a game in any sport and one of the best home crowds in any sport. Soldier Field in Chicago. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Chicago Bears. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Yeah, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
I'm going to give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio's pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Play action. Now Wentz. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. He just joined the double-digit party with that last pick. He now has 10 on the season.
And that takes a great amount of skill, study, a tad bit of luck. But bottom line, he's had a heck of a season.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Graham. Oh, he's got a little daylight. The 20. Touchdown, Chicago. Corey Graham, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Draw play. This is Henry. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
After a play like that, everyone on defense has got to go to the defensive line and give them their kudos. They destroyed everything inside. No place for the runner to go with the ball.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Returnable for Grant. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big time, John? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
This is Grant. And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Touchdown, Chicago! Touchdown! Evan Ingram, his fourth touchdown on the year. As the Bears push further out in front. Extra point attempt to follow here. And that drive happened quickly, which is great because they scored the points, but then their defense has to come right back out on the field.
It is exciting, isn't it, for the offense to do that? The defense is saying, okay, that's cool, but let's not make it a habit. We need to get some rest sometime.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Wentz. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the lack.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Lorenzo Carter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Check 53, Mike. Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this.
SOS. SOS. SOS.
Tight dog. Tight dog. Tight dog.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Going deep downfield for Ross. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Chicago. John Ross, 82 yards as the Bears push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On second down, here's Henry. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3-and-out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
57, Mike 57. Come to my work.
They'll run on first down. It's Grant. It's a wind of it over. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach in my...
Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Will Fuller with touchdown number 20 on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. picked up by James Bradbury. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Play action. It's Jackson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
On 3rd down, Grant. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Past the 20. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Corey Grant with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed,
Yeah,
aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Here it comes, here it comes. Check 3, check 3.
They'll toss it to Henry. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Here comes Grant on the return. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
On third down, Jackson. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Open man is lost, complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 14 yards in a Chicago first down. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. It's complete to Fuller. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. And Jackson throwing once more. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. John Ross with his second touchdown here in this first half as his guys continue to pour it on. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. That time a 6-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Carson Wentz now, and the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Derrick Henry. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. Know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
A dump down to McKinnon. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
On the NFL scoreboard, an update from Foxborough. The Jets are out to the early lead. We'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
And now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Grant. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Right back to him on first down. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards there and a first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. And Ingram hauls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a first down for Chicago. On first down, it's Grant. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They're going to hurry back to the line now. From the 39, Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. On after the sack, he's still down on the field. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. On 3rd down, Grant. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away.
Let's go, baby.
Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy, stone-faced, wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go, third quarter.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. Second and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a third down.
On third down, Grant. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's the backup Kaiser. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running back.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second? And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. The extra point up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, Wentz. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
I can't help it. Every time I see an empty backfield, I almost revert to college football because that's an immediate alert for a quarterback draw. We don't see it as much in the NFL, and he stayed in the pocket and threw one incomplete. But I think if you've got a guy with wheels, it could be a really nice play because a lot of defenses, when they see empty, they come with pressure.
And without that protection, he took a hit there, went down to the ground. Wentz now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking for Josh Reynolds that time, but it'll be 2nd down.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hockenson, 3rd down here. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. He'll return it from the 6. So a change of possession here on the punt. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
An 8-yard gain, so that gets them halfway there. Now they're left with a 3rd and 8 more. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. To throw, Kaiser. And that will be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing on second down. Wentz. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down to them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, winding that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think he'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. An excellent gain, 35 yards. What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days that they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football? Someone would stop and bang out a tune along the way as well. But nowadays, these guys are essentially bulked up wide receivers, and they're a full part of the passing game, and we see a lot of big plays as we just saw there.
He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down. Now Wentz again. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. He's at the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago.
Martin, I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes guys who are built with the dimension of linebackers can actually get lost from sight by the quarterback.
Well, they're usually not the tallest guys.
So, yeah, that allows them sometimes to kind of hide down in there, kind of get a little bit lower, and maybe he just never saw him. But, boy, he sure wishes he had. He picked it off and ran it all the way back for a touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now comes the Chicago defense getting ready for the next possession.
Here we go. 180!
Watch the screen. Pass.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Wentz to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Telvin Smith. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Wentz. And he's going to go down again. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he can vault himself right into the number 1 spot.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
I smell fear in that offense.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Grant, and able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
57, Mike, 57. Yeah, QB's trapped. Let's go.
At the Seahawks 43-yard line.
They go back to Grant. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 3rd down, Kaiser. Oh, fighting off the defender. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for him and shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that 1st down run, as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage.
Hey, 50. 50's the mic. 50's the mic.
Hey, what's the ball?
On play action, it's Wentz. And this is incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
And the spin looked pretty, but more for style points as the real estate evaporated quickly there. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe, because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food, because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
On 1st down, Grant working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Check. Press.
On second down, it's Grant. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves, you're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about running them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Here we go.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Throwing is Wentz. And finding the tight end, Wilson. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Undercrunch.
Again, it's Wentz. He finds McKinnon, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now Wentz. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here we go again.
From midfield, here's Wentz. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The end result, 21 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Let's go.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on first is Wentz. And this is caught by Watkins. And down inside the 15 he goes. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. From the red zone now, Wentz. He completes it to Henry. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 3. And it'll be a 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To throw is Wentz. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
After the field goal, here's Tavecchio to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. They'll run on first down. Grant. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Well, I've never seen this one. It's second down, and the punt team is out there. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And this will be touchdown inside the 20. They'll spot it at the 18-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throwing now is Wentz. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
Waiting. Check 52's to Mike. All right, T, let's check. All right, T. Check 9, check 9.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. And what is going on here? Are they serious? First down, and they're in punt formation. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Bears, they continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.